The Karathi Dominion was not known for mercy. Their war banners had spread across 6 sectors, their fleets enslaving or eradicating entire civilizations without pause. To them, conquest was not only a right but a ritual, proof that they were chosen above lesser species. And when their war council turned its gaze upon humanity, they saw only weakness, a fragile colony world. Adrian's hope rested at the edge of a pale star, little more than a trade hub for farmers, miners, and families who had sought quiet lives away from the core of Earth's influence. There were no warships stationed there, no planetary shields, no defensive fleets, only freighters, dock workers, children running through sunlit streets. The Karathi fleet descended without warning. They burned the orbital platforms first, laughing as the screams poured through open channels. The freighters tried to flee, their engines sputtering in terror, but the Karathi cut them down with contemptuous precision. On the surface, the colony's people ran for shelters, but the shelters were glass against atomic fire. Skies lit red, oceans boiled, cities turned to ash. The Karathi broadcast the slaughter live on open bands, not to humanity, but to their rivals. The message was clear. This is what happens to those who resist the Dominion. And at the end, when the last survivors were dragged before cameras, the Karathi commander gave the order. A little girl, no more than 8, was executed on live feed. Her final cry was drowned beneath alien laughter. The galaxy watched, and many whispered, "Surely Earth will do nothing. Surely humans are too far, too soft, too civilized to answer." Triumph of arrogance, the feast of the conquerors, the Karathi High Council, celebrated for 3 cycles beneath the spires of their capital world. Their fleets paraded, war banners unfurled, captains boasting of the human colony they had wiped from existence. "Earth will not act," they declared. "Humans are fractured. They will mourn, but they will bow. They have no fleets left, only relics from wars long forgotten." In the council chambers, one admiral scoffed, "Let them grieve. Their tears will drown them faster than our weapons ever could. Humanity is a whisper in the void, and we are storms that silence whispers." The galaxy nodded in grim acceptance. For decades, humanity had spoken of peace, of trade, of unity. They had let other empires pass them by, had withdrawn their war fleets into hidden bastions, had chosen diplomacy over vengeance. To younger races, Earth seemed almost quaint. The Karathi believed they had struck down the cub of a declawed beast. They had forgotten that beasts, even in silence, remember the hunt. The forgotten signals. Darkness stirs. The distress call from Adrian's Hope never reached Earth in time. It had been jammed, cut apart, scattered into fragments. But fragments travel, fragments echo, and deep in the outer dark, where humanity's ancient listening stations drifted cold and lifeless, those fragments arrived. There, dormant systems flickered awake for the first time in centuries. Rusted antennas groaned, storage cores shivered, and buried deep beneath dust and ice, the forgotten signals stirred. Encrypted messages older than empires pulsed into existence. They leapt from relay to relay, lighting dead networks like fire racing through dry wood. Across uninhabited moons, abandoned stations, and hidden vaults, systems long believed silent opened their eyes once more. And far from curious eyes, humanity's fleets of reserve, dreadnoughts mothballed in secret, warships sealed away since the last great galactic war, received their orders. Doors opened in the dark. Engines the size of mountains awoke. Hulls older than living memory thrummed with power, their names etched into steel like scripture, resolution. Iron Will, Final Dawn, Oathkeeper. From asteroid vaults, crews poured in. Soldiers who had lived lives of peace now donned armor that whispered with history. Pilots who had never known war were suddenly bound to craft older than their bloodlines. The galaxy had thought humanity's fleets gone, but they had only been sleeping. And now, awakened by a child's last cry, they rose. The silence before the storm. The first sign the Karathi received was not a fleet, nor a declaration but silence. Their scouts, sent to monitor human trade routes, stopped reporting back. Pirate clans who preyed upon human merchants vanished without trace. Entire relay networks collapsed overnight, their data streams shredded by unknown interference. At first, the Karathi scoffed. "Cowards," they said. "Humans retreat further into their shells," they mocked. "They hide. They always hide." But then came the transmissions. Short, simple, unmistakable. 3 words spoken in 100 alien tongues. Broadcast across every channel, across every star system that had witnessed the slaughter of Adrian's Hope. "We heard you. Merchant guilds panicked. Neutral worlds sealed their ports. Karathi vassals begged their masters to make peace. But the Dominion laughed still. They cannot touch us. They cannot even reach us. Our fleets blot out skies. Their fleets are dust. Yet in the endless dark between stars, dust had become storms, the awakening of steel. When humanity moved, it was not with bluster. It was not with parades or boasts. It was with inevitability. Fleets erupted from black space folds, dreadnoughts blotting out suns with their sheer mass. Ships larger than cities formed walls of steel, their hulls bristling with weapons no alien had ever seen. For humanity had built them in secret, in silence, in preparation for a day that had finally come. The Karathi border worlds were the first to vanish. Their defenses never fired a shot. Orbital platforms turned molten in seconds. Garrisons disappeared beneath kinetic strikes that cracked continents. Then came the fleets. Karathi warships, arrogant and untested against humanity's wrath, rushed to meet the invaders. They died screaming. Human ships moved with precision born of centuries of training drills never abandoned. Plasma walls shattered under rail cannons that punched holes through mountains. Fighters swarmed like living storms, faster, sharper, hungrier than anything the Dominion had ever faced. And with every battle, the same signal echoed across the stars. We remember. Retribution without mercy. The campaign was not a war. It was a judgment. Human fleets did not pause for negotiation. They did not slow for prisoners. They advanced like executioners through the Dominion's heart. Every world that had cheered the slaughter of Adrian's hope was reduced to ash. Every fleet that had mocked humanity was shattered into drifting bones of steel. Cities that had broadcast laughter at the death of a child were silenced forever. On Karathi Prime, the High Council met again. But this time there were no feasts, no parades. Their fleets were burning. Their vassals were defecting. Their people were rioting in fear. The humans were not an enemy. They were an extinction. And still, the fleets came. Human dreadnoughts opened fire on the capital system with weapons that tore apart moons. Soldiers in armor black as night descended in storms of drop pods, their boots shaking continents. The Dominion screamed, but no one answered. Allies who once feared them turned away, unwilling to draw humanity's gaze. Retribution had come, and it would not be denied. The final silence. When the fires burned low, the galaxy held its breath. The Dominion was gone, its fleets destroyed, its worlds shattered, its people scattered into dust. In its place lay only silence. Human fleets did not stay to conquer. They did not raise banners or claim territory. They left ruin in their wake and then vanished back into the endless dark, just as swiftly as they had come. But their message remained. Across the stars, survivors whispered of fleets that blotted out suns, of soldiers who fought like storms, of voices that spoke with cold finality. Never provoke Earth again, they said. They wait. They watch. They do not forget. The galaxy realized then the truth. Humanity's patience was vast, deeper than any empire's ambition. But when that patience cracked, when the forgotten signals awoke fleets buried in darkness, human vengeance was infinite. And so, in the quiet after annihilation, the stars themselves seemed to tremble. For Earth had answered, and its answer would echo forever.